Welcome back to our channel, fellow Y&R addicts. Today is a beautiful day, but honestly, after watching the latest episode, our nerves are completely shot. We just had to jump on here and process everything with you guys because this episode was an absolute roller coaster of emotions. Let's get right into it. I cannot believe they went there with Nikki Newman. I mean, I am sitting here typing this up late at night, completely emotionally drained, and I just need to vent to people who actually understand. We all knew something was terribly wrong with Nikki. We have all been watching the agonizing build up for weeks. We saw the crippling headaches, the sudden blurred vision, the terrifying near-fainting spells that she kept trying to brush off, but a brain tumor. A literal fast-growing brain tumor pressing right against her optic nerve. I am just so devastated for her. And to make it even worse, the neurologist flat out told her that if it is not treated successfully, it could lead to total, irreversible blindness. But wait, here is the real kicker that absolutely broke my heart. Even the surgery to remove the tumor carries the exact same risk of leaving her completely blind. I am sorry, but that is just incredibly cruel. Melody Thomas Scott acted her absolute heart out in this scene. You could feel the sheer terror radiating off her as she realized she might never see her children, her grandchildren, or her beloved ranch ever again. She has already battled multiple sclerosis for years. She has fought the demon of alcoholism, and now the writers are throwing a brain tumor at her. It is almost too much to bear. And Victoria. Oh my God, my heart breaks for Victoria right now. She was right there in the doctor's office, holding her mother's hand, and you could see the exact moment her entire world shattered all over again. Because let's not forget the heavy historical context here. Victoria is still deeply traumatized and actively grieving the sudden, tragic death of Cole Howard. She is already carrying so much emotional baggage and profound pessimism, and now she has to be the strong one for Nikki. Victoria immediately goes into fix-it mode because that is what Victoria does when she is terrified. She starts begging Nikki to get a second opinion, practically demanding that she go see Dr. Nate Hastings to look at the scans, but Nikki is just so completely defeated. She does not think they can deny what is glaring right at them on the emergency MRI. It is just so hard to watch Nikki, who is usually this fierce, unstoppable matriarch, just crumble into a million pieces. Victoria is trying so hard to be a cheerleader, assuring Nikki she will get the best care in the world, but you can see the absolute panic in Victoria's eyes. But you know what really gets me? Nikki's absolute, stubborn refusal to tell Victor. I mean, I get it. I really do. She is furious with Victor for his disgusting manipulation of Jack Abbott, and she absolutely refuses to accept his pity. She actually thinks they can navigate this horrifying medical crisis, schedule complex neurosurgeries, and deal with potential blindness without Victor ever finding out. Am I the only one who thinks this is the worst idea in the history of Genoa City? Remember when Victor tried to hide his own life-threatening illness from the family years ago? Remember how he faked his own death and traumatized his children? Yeah, didn't work then either. It never works. Secrets like this always blow up in their faces, and Victor is going to be absolutely livid and then completely heartbroken when he finds out she went through this initial terror without him. Victoria is begging her to tell him, but Nikki is standing her ground. Speaking of Victor, let's talk about that incredibly awkward lunch at the GCAC. Claire Newman, bless her sweet, naive heart, is trying to play matchmaker. She actually tried to set up a Parent Trap-style lunch for Victor and Nikki to force them to talk. But of course, Nikki bailed because she needed to rest in her room, which we now know is because she is secretly battling a brain tumor. So Victor shows up, takes one look at the extra place setting, and instantly busts Claire's little scheme. Victor is way too smart for that. He immediately assumes Nikki just didn't want to see him, which is fair given their current marital war. But Claire innocently blames it on her grandmother's severe headaches and blurry vision. If only Victor knew the actual truth. He is sitting there, acting all high and mighty, completely unaware that his wife is facing a literal death sentence. And why is Victor so distracted? Because he is too busy playing God and pulling the strings of a certified psychopath like Patty Williams just to torture Jack Abbott. It makes me so incredibly angry. Victor is wasting precious time holding on to these petty, decades-old grudges while Nikki is fighting for her life. When he finally finds out the truth, the guilt is going to absolutely crush him. And honestly, he deserves to feel that guilt. He has been a terrible husband lately, prioritizing his vendetta against the Abbotts over his own marriage. He funded Patty's entire return to Genoa City just to ruin Jack's life, and now he is losing the one woman he actually loves. Okay, back to the point. Let's shift gears to the absolute nightmare happening over at the Abbott mansion. I cannot even stomach looking at Patty Williams playing house. She literally whipped up this massive, lavish breakfast and set it up in the dining room like she is the lady of the manor. It is so creepy. Tracy and Kyle have been forced out of their own family home just so Patty can play out her delusional domestic fantasies with Jack. Jack is trying to escape to the office with just a cup of coffee because he clearly cannot stand to be in the same room as her, and I do not blame him. But Patty, in all her smug, triumphant glory, stops him dead in his tracks and throws a massive wrench in his day. Because Patty has actually arranged for Jack to speak with Diane's doctor. She rearranged his entire morning schedule so they could spend it together waiting for this guy. Jack's desperation is palpable. He's playing this incredibly dangerous game of fake romancing his abuser. Let's not forget the horrific history here. Patty drugged Jack and assaulted him on a yacht. She had plastic surgery to look exactly like Emily Peterson to steal his life. And now he is forced to smile and play nice with her just to find his missing wife. Jack is smart, though. He secretly texts Kyle and tells him to wait outside the mansion and tell the doctor when he leaves, hoping it will lead them straight to Diane. I am so here for Jack and Kyle teaming up to take this psycho down. Kyle has grown so much, and seeing him step up to help his father is exactly the kind of Abbott solidarity we need right now. And then we have Diane Jenkins Abbott. Wow, just wow. I know some people are loving this whole hostage storyline, but personally, it gives me major anxiety. Diane is trapped in Dr. Lawrence Markham's private home, and the psychological warfare is off the charts. The actor playing Markham, Jerry Burns, is doing such a phenomenal job being absolutely terrifying without even raising his voice. Diane is trying to bargain with him, begging for fresh air and exercise. Markham agrees to let her use the basement gym, but absolutely refuses to let her step foot outside because he knows she will run. He is keeping her on a very tight, very terrifying leash. But Diane is not stupid. She is a survivor. She casually asks Markham what his zodiac sign is, and he tells her his birthday is June 9th and he is a Gemini. After Diane makes a comment about twins, Markham arrogantly replies that he likes to think of himself as one of a kind. The absolute ego on this guy. As soon as he leaves for an important meeting, Diane immediately grabs the phone she found in a drawer and tries to use his birthday to guess the passcode. It doesn't work, which is incredibly frustrating to watch, but I love that she is actively trying to escape instead of just playing the helpless victim. When the passcode fails, Diane has this moment of clarity. She realizes that fighting Markham directly isn't going to work. He holds all the cards, and he has already threatened her with other methods if she does not cooperate. So what does she do? She decides to play to his massive ego. She decides to stroke his vanity and make him believe that his twisted therapy is actually working. She is going to use him as her ticket back to Jack and Kyle. Am I the only one who thinks Diane is actually playing this incredibly smart for once? She knows she has to manipulate the manipulator if she wants to survive this nightmare. Diane is tapping into every ounce of manipulation she learned over the decades. She knows exactly how to make a man feel powerful and in control. and she is using Markham's own god complex against him. So Markham leaves Diane at the house and shows up at the Abbott mansion. Jack immediately goes into full interrogation mode, asking a million questions, but Markham is slick. He claims he is just filling in for Diane's actual doctor who had an emergency. Jack is practically begging for information, demanding to know where his wife is. But Markham coldly insists that Diane does not want to see Jack and absolutely refuses to give up the address of the clinic. It is infuriating to watch Jack hit this brick wall when we all know Diane is literally locked in Markham's house. And then, to make matters worse, Jack asks Markham about Patty's mental state, and Markham actually vouches for her. He looks Jack dead in the eye and tells him that Patty is perfectly sane. Of course he does. He is working with her. He is on Victor's payroll, or Patty's payroll, or whoever is funding this madness. Markham advises Jack to be patient, which is just code for sit down and let us ruin your life. And Patty is standing right there, eating it all up, acting like she is the most stable person in Genoa City. Patty then has the audacity to push Jack to just accept that Diane is gone and getting the help she needs. She looks Jack in the eye and expresses her deep, twisted desire to become his wife. I literally gagged. She is trying to erase Diane from existence and slide right into her place as the matriarch of the Abbott family. Patty's delusions know no bounds. She actually thinks Jack is going to fall in love with her after she kidnapped his wife and forced his sister out of her own home. The absolute nerve of this woman is staggering. Back at Markham's house, he returns from his meeting with Jack, and Diane puts her new plan into motion. She puts on this incredibly convincing act, acting all excited and eager to start her healing journey with him. She is playing the role of the compliant, brainwashed patient perfectly. It is a terrifying game of cat and mouse. If Markham figures out she is faking it, who knows what he will do to her. We all remember how Diane faked her own death back in 2011 with Deacon Sharp, so we know she is capable of pulling off a massive deception. Now she has to use those exact same skills just to save her own life. I am dreading what comes next, but I also cannot look away. I have been watching this show for years, and this is easily one of the darkest, most twisted storylines they have done in a while. Between Nikki's tragic brain tumor, Victor's clueless revenge plot, Jack's desperate undercover mission with Patty, and Diane fighting for her life in a psychopath's basement. Genoa City is an absolute mess right now. I just need Kyle to successfully tell Markham and find that house. Jack needs a win, Nikki needs a miracle, and Victor needs a massive reality check. Let me know what you guys think, because my brain is spinning and I need to know I am not the only one losing my mind over this episode.